I touch into the energy of the murderer, it's a vile energy. It's like blood coming up into my throat. I could see him killing her. This is the one. This is the young man that I saw. He's the one that murdered Denise. His name is Michael Goff.
It doesn't seem possible. Goff is a good friend of Denise's brother. He spent plenty of time at their house and got along well with Denise. But when detectives look closer at Goff, suspicion mounts.
The day she went missing, he didn't come to work that day. When we interviewed him, he didn't have an alibi. There wasn't anybody that could give us any information about where he was that day. When offered a polygraph, he refused.
It's a good lead, but police are still a long way from proving murder.
At that time, we had no physical evidence. All we had was the fact that he didn't have an alibi, the fact that he wouldn't take a polygraph. We weren't even close to being able to arrest him, but we were all confident he was the one.
But without a body or any evidence of a murder, the investigation is in danger of stalling. Just when it seems the case will go unsolved, a friend of Michael Goff's contacts police with a shocking revelation.
He told me that Mike Goff had killed Denise McMurray.
Detective Hickman believes the story, but it's hearsay. He needs proof. Goff's friend agrees to wear a body mic.
We wired him up, told him to go just have casual conversation with him and see if he could get him to talk about the murder.
The two men meet at Goff's apartment and start drinking. Goff suggests they go for a drive. That's when the informant starts probing.
You never go from the cops, have you? And they had the blood through the thing that may have been in front of the body. You never know you were raped or beaten. Well, see, I didn't do any of that. All I did was shoot her. I guess you did it.
Goff goes on to tell his friend that he killed Denise near an oil rig on Southfield Road, but then buried her body somewhere else.
It was the biggest development in the case. I mean, it was a chance to finish it.
Detectives now have a killer's confession on tape, but they still don't have the body. Goff only told the informant where he killed Denise, not where he buried her.
We didn't have a crime scene, and we sure didn't have a body. So we couldn't prove that she was actually dead, and that was the problem.
Prosecutors fear that Michael Goff could beat the murder charge for lack of evidence.
We met with the prosecuting attorney. We wanted to arrest Mike Goff, and he advised us not to do so until we found the body. It was probably one of the most frustrating cases I've ever worked. We considered the suspect to be dangerous, and we also were uncomfortable. We felt like there was a possibility that maybe this could happen again. And that's one reason we worked on it so hard and never quit.
With nowhere else to turn, Hickman meets with psychic Carol Pate once again. She pinpointed the suspect in the first place. Maybe now she can help find the body. Hickman doesn't tell her what Goff said on the tape. Instead, he lets her find her own way. In the car, Carol tries to tune in to the dead woman.
The energy is guiding me. Once I hit that energy, I'm like a dog. I got the energy, and then I trail it. I follow that energy to where the energy then stops, hopefully at a body.
The psychic picks up the scent. Visions flood her mind.
I feel like she was murdered near an oil rig. I'm getting Southfield. I believe it's Southfield Road.
There is a Southfield Road, and there's oil field nearby.
Okay.
The detective is shocked. It's exactly where Goff said he shot Denise.
According to the informant, she was killed in Union County off of Southfield Road in the oil field. And it matched what the psychic said.
But where's the body? Carol's got the scent, but it's a convoluted trail.
He took her to a lot of different places. He put her in the trunk of his car, and he stopped at several places, and this goes on for hours. I'm getting water, and there's trees, and a great deal of concrete. So there's a wooded area, and the concrete and the water are like a landmark of where he last buried her. I believe that Denise's spirit was with me, but she did not know where she was. She did not know where her body was.
All hopes are shattered. Carol's lost the scent. It looks like Michael Goff will walk free. A few months later, a grisly discovery turns a cold case very hot. 45 miles from the murder scene, over the Louisiana border, a logger discovers human remains.
Skull was found in this area here. We eventually found the lower right jaw that we needed to identify the body. It was later identified, and it was that of Denise McMurray.
Finally, investigators have a body. Suddenly, the psychic's vision makes sense.
I'm getting water and a great deal of concrete.
This location is close to Darbone Lake. It's not too far from the spillway, which is, of course, comprised of concrete. She told me many times while I was working with her that we would find the body near water and concrete.
The killer buried Denise less than a mile away from the spillway. Now that investigators finally have the body, Michael Goff is charged with murder. He pleads guilty and is sentenced to 40 years in prison. But what exactly happened in Denise McMurray's final hours remains shadowy. Police suspect that Goff picked Denise up from work and drove around with her for a while, until they got into an argument.
The murder happened on Southfield Road. He killed her by shooting her, wrapped her in something, put her in the trunk, and took her to Farmville, Louisiana, in the area of Lake Darville.
For Carol Pate, an emotional case is finally closed.
This case haunted me. Denise haunted me. It needed to be over. It needed to be completed. Her family needed to have some peace.
Had it not been for the psychic, the mystery of Denise McMurray's death might still be unsolved.
There's a relief to know. You know what has really honestly happened. You bury her, and there's the closure to that.
Detective Hickman has no regrets about working with a psychic.
The psychic didn't solve the crime. However, the psychic was accurate on some of the things that she said and told us.